Greetings and happy 2026, all news-going individuals out there in YouTube land. I am, of course, your humble Stark of Iron here with the future of your news and entertainment, coming in hot with fresh new topics in pop culture, gaming, and abroad. Joining me is my panel of esteemed pop culture pundits, including our good friend and somewhat disgruntled scientist, the great director Arcater. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I've seen news going just fine, strictly speaking. I'm less disgruntled. My mood is really quite good. I'll say I'm almost happy.
That is a good start to 2026, because as you are well aware, for the folks who follow this particular series, or the good friend, the director, has an orbital laser platform, if I can talk today. An orbital laser platform, yes, courtesy of yours truly, that he has yet to draw a giant, dick and balls in the desert with.
Dick Butt, the character of Dick Butt. I'm about to revive that meme on all light reachable surfaces of several prominent figures who will not report it to the media.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joining us, also representing us here in the two-dimensional sphere, is none other than the dignified cartoon gentleman. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. It's great to be here. Hopefully 2026 will be as great for me as 2025 was. And here's to another fantastic Saturday show.
Absolutely. Unlike most of my shows, which are a little bit more zany, this is a concrete, it's still a little loose. We still like to make fun of things. But it's not as cartoony as I normally make it. This is a topical discussion about the current goings-on in pop culture. We like to cover some bad news, some good news. We like to maintain a political, transparent, straight-to-the-truth laser focus. Joining us, representing StarkCast 25, starring you, since nobody else reached out. That's probably on my part for it being the holidays. Bad timing, I know. But at least Casey's Creepy Creations is here. One of our executive producers. How are you doing today, Casey?
Oh, my dear sir, I have to tell you, I'm a little under the weather today. If I felt much worse, I swear I'd be alive. But but I wanted, that's saying a lot. But nothing in this world will keep me from another scintillating StarkCast. So
Absolutely.
Here I am.
Happy to have you here. Thank you for helping us get to that goal, starring you. And if you were a financier, if you were a donor, and you're out there in the chat, you're wondering, I thought you was going to, come after me. No, you're supposed to reach out and find me. You can still requisition a link, and you can still come up. Just say it in the chat, and then reach out to me on X or on Discord, and we'll get you into the goings on. And we'll be welcoming our chat in just a second. Sit tight. Right now, coming in hot from the podcast is Scooby Pup. How you doing today, sweetheart?
Hello, my dear. I'm doing fine. I was a little bit rushed for Scooby Pup's podcast. I gotta say, my mom woke me up when it was 4:10. I mean, not 4:10. 4:50. I was like, oh shit. So I was rushing all over the place trying to get everything ready. And so when the show actually started, I was all jittery and whatnot. And it just depends. I thought I was about ready to cry or something. Like, no, I just. So yes, but here I am now. How's the show? How you doing, sweetie?
Doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and welcome our fine chatters to the fore, and thank you guys for coming in. Even if it's just a drive-by like and love, it means the world. We got the great Caleb Levine. Hail to you. He was indeed first. We got Casey's working double duty in the chat, alongside our good friend, the director and dignified cartoon gentleman. Hail to the great St. Hugo. It's a pleasure to see you. AJ Starhiker. Hello, my friend. Can't wait to have you hanging out with us again on a karaoke sometime down the road. Stephanie, who has been all over my channel like sugar and apple pie. Like, she's like, I don't know who you are, but I am very happy I finally found this channel. Oh, I'm so happy you found me too. That means that our algorithm is finally beginning to reach out to people. Hail to Kimberly Ann Hart out there. Hail to the great Angel Dust. Hey, what's going on, Sugar? Good to see you. We got Toxins in the house as well. Got Suzanne, and welcome to you, my dear. All of the fine folks got in, and of course, we got Gap After Dark. Today, we have a motley assembly of news topics, some good, some bad, and some somewhere in the middle. But I suppose first things first, we always cover pop culture, and that means we got to watch Hollywood do a little bit more of that burning. So let's get right to it, shall we? All right, kids. Now, I don't know about you, but Stranger Things apparently netted about 25 million. And now the ironic thing about that is the theaters are keeping all that money. So what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things? Let's get right to it. Stranger Things finale turns box office upside down, downside up, pulling in an estimated $25 million, which, to be fair, isn't a lot of money. The finale of Netflix's blockbuster series Stranger Things gave movie theaters a much-needed jolt, generating an estimated 20 to 25 million at the box office, according to multiple reports. Matt and Ross Duffer's supernatural thriller debuted simultaneously on the streaming platform in some 600 cinemas on New Year's Eve and held encore showings all throughout New Year's Day. Owing to the cast's contractual terms for residuals, theaters could not charge for tickets. Instead, fans reserved seats for performances directly from theaters, paying for mandatory food and beverage vouchers. AMC and Cinemark theaters charged $20 for the concession, while Regal Cinemas charged $11 in homage to the show's lead character, 11, played by Millie Bobby Brown. AMC Theaters, the world's largest theater chain, played at the finale 231 of its theaters across the United States, which accounted for 1/3 of all theaters that held screenings over the holiday. The chain said that more than 750,000 viewers attended a performance at once of its cinemas every 2 days, bringing in more than 15 million. Expectations for the theater showing was high. Our year ends on a high. Netflix Stranger Things finale to show in many AMC theaters this week, 2 days only after New Year's Eve on January 1st, tweeted AMC CEO Adam Aron on December 30th. Theaters are packed, many sellouts, but seats still available. How many Stranger Things tickets do you think AMC will sell? In 2025, revenue in the United States and Canada was expected to reach $8.87 billion, which is marginally better than 2024 and only 20% more than pre-pandemic levels, according to the movie's data firm ComScore. With few expectations, moviegoers stayed home. As of December 25th, only an estimated 760 million tickets were sold, according to media and entertainment data firm Intelligence. Say that's intelligence. Intelligence is this the March of the Ends? I didn't know they had jobs in Hollywood. Compared with 2024, during which total ticket sales exceeded 800 million. So, obviously, this is a bit of a shakeup, definitely some pocket change for the theaters. And hail to Nifty out there in the chat. Hello. So what do you guys think about this? We'll start with the director. Is $25 million worth certain events that happened where somebody announced something that was completely obvious?
Am I forbidden from commenting on that? Because I know about it from someone else who summarized it, and their news to me was that this was the lowest viewed episode, despite being the ostensible high point of the season.
I believe that's the point we were trying to make here with covering this article right off the bat. It's almost as if they're sweeping a lot of things under the rug.
Yes, in fact, looking at the details from the LA Times here, and by the way, the report I got is from a much humbler, smaller source who I trust infinitely more than the LA Times.
Well,
much like I don't really trust almost anything from California as a whole.
And now you're beginning to get the joke.
Also, reading the article by their own words, what they're really saying, because they couldn't charge tickets for it, is that the last episode of Stranger Things got outperformed by movie theater concessions.
Good day.
I suppose I won't roll any spoilers for anyone who thinks that their sexual preference might secretly be a superpower with which they must acknowledge in order to defeat an almost godlike evil entity. Suffice to say, though, it's absolutely not a superpower. Whatever it is, it's not a superpower.
No. Just to make a valid point before we go on to Digny here, it's the 1980s. People were allowed to be gay in the 1980s. You didn't need to cover that stuff up in the 1980s. All right, look
You're
at
going to
Boy
need to at least
George.
go back 1950s in
Yeah,
a highly
yeah.
conservative college town to
Yeah.
get the sort of drama they were going for, but completely fell on its stupid face.
Right. So, any other points of note, my friend?
I leave the rest to dwell over how far the ostensible journalistic media industry has fallen.
Digny, I guess that's your cue to, prepare the toilet. What do you got here for us?
Sure. Anything that requires medication is not a superpower, folks. Okay. I'm just going to make this clear. I found this situation to be very strange, mostly because of the fact that Netflix has a track record of undermining all things to do with physical media, including physical structures like theaters and cinemas. So I must say I was surprised when I heard Stranger Things was getting a box office release. Maybe it's part of Netflix's strategy going forward. If they are going to gobble up the industry, they have to at least placate the theaters and the cinemas in order to gobble up the creative industry in the movies and TV show department. Do I think it's a good thing? No, mainly because of the fact that Netflix is not known for its cinema and theater releases. In fact, they're known for destroying theaters and cinemas. But it's interesting to see a company do something that you wouldn't usually expect of them. But in all seriousness, just to make it clear in regards to Stranger Things, I'll make it clear right here, right now. It's not a superpower if you need medication. Okay?
Pretty much. That's a fact. I loved Stranger Things, especially the earlier seasons. I loved the 80s aesthetic, the synthwave, the pounding synthwave. Even one of the biggest downgrades, and this has nothing to do with anything at all for the character development. It's the downgrade that the Mind Flayer had. Like, one of the worst things was it went from being this creature that is inexplainable, undefined, eldritch cosmic being. That's why it was smoky and shifty, to just Dr. Lovelace's steampunk spider from the Wild Wild West. I'm like, are you kidding me? Where is Will Smith to defeat this damn thing? Casey, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was never a huge Stranger Things fan, although I have tried to watch some of it in homage of the last episode. I'm not horribly impressed, having lived through the 80s, but I'll give it its due. What I'd like to talk about specifically with regard to this article is that they're making such a big deal that the theaters made, what was it, $25 million? Now, I have been a moviegoer for a long time, and I have seen some pretty crappy movies and some pretty great movies. But I'll tell you what, even crappy movies could make over $25 million.
Right.
And this being anchored by a supposedly major streaming service and going out into major theaters, I think this only proves one thing, that streaming companies, Netflix, what have you, have already killed the cinema industry, and it's just on life support. And they're just trying to push back with the shock paddles, is what I think's going on.
My point that I want to make with this is this seems awfully coincidental that after Warner Brothers has been completely digested and still being fought over as it's on its way out the crapper, between Paramount and Netflix. It's Netflix is now doubling down on using cinemas just to sell food while they run their products that you can watch on streaming for a monthly subscription. As it seems to be a marketing experiment to go, well, how can we at least salvage the oncoming situation that we are, purporting, so that the construction crews don't need to be dozing down every theater across America. That's what I'm seeing. I could be a bit of an exaggerator here, but they're going to turn them into glorified internet cafe restaurants just because they have cinema seating. Did you want to make?
Yes, something arose about me regarding the no tickets thing. If the legal system were still functional, you would think this would be an instant case for the actors to sue because their contracts promise them residuals. So they just, release the movie for free in theaters, but the viewers have to buy, and I quote, mandatory food and drink vouchers that the cast doesn't get any cut of because, they just had to buy the mandatory vouchers in order to get in the theater to see the movie that was totally free.
Right.
Everyone on this cast should feel butthurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got good old to say this to where YouTube doesn't go back crazy. They got the old bone flute up the poop chute.
Pretty much, but at least one of them liked it.
Oh God damn it, Scooby, you gotta follow that. I'm so sorry, dear. What are your thoughts on this? I'll be right back. Oh my Lord in heaven. Oh God.
I think you just broke Tony on guitar.
Well, since Scooby isn't speaking, I think I should see. Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Good.
So I gotta say, that the episode with the dude coming out as gay was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it took 12 hours and 12 takes just for the guy to say, "I'm gay," and then do a group hug. I'm sorry, what? It took them that long to do just that little bit. 12 hours and 12 takes. Plus, with the amount of money that they used to make that episode, and then the ending of this, the ending of the season. Somebody, please, slap me across the face, wake me up from this nightmare.
Oh Lord.
I followed this. I tried to watch it and follow it while Nadia watched it, and I was like, "What am I seeing here?" They had a great concept, and for like the first season or so, they executed it great. And now they've gotten to the point of, what the fuck am I looking at? And why are they spending so much money to do this type of ending? Why are they spending 12 hours and 12 takes to get a guy to say, "I'm gay," and then do a group hug? I'm sorry.
It's like the guys that we already know the guy's gay.
Yeah.
It was so cliche. Exactly, Toxins. It was absolutely cliche. We're going to be getting to the chats in just a second. But as is tradition, we always read whatever super chats or mega chats to come into our PayPal. Thank you for supporting the channel. So let's go ahead and do that. Since Alistor just walked into the chat, I can think of no other bumper than this.
Let's see if we have any super chats in the picture show.
And our good friend Sigvaldson, who also says in the main chat, he says, "I just wanted to push the button to release our Eldritch God when I heard about this crap. I actually want to push the button all the time, but this has made me want to push it a couple of times." Absolutely, absolutely. And he sends a $5 mega chat directly to the PayPal. Hail and thank you, sir. He says, Liberty Prime reminds us that two things. So let me grab my Liberty Prime soundboard here. He wants this one.
Freedom is the sovereign right of every American.
And where is the other one that he wanted? I think it was. There it is.
Communism is a lie.
There you go, sir. Thank you for the 5 spot, my friend, and God bless you for that. And since that is our only super chat, let's go ahead and we're gonna take off the article for just a second, and we're gonna go ahead and just see what you fine folks at home are talking about, because that's also very important. So, uno momento, and hail to Plush World. Thank you for swinging by. All right, let's see here. Let's see what you guys are, buzzing about. All right, let's go up a little bit. We have Husker here. Hail to Husker. We got the gangs all here, I think. And we're missing a Charlie and a Vaggie, but I think we got Nifty. Toxins can represent our Vox here tonight. Angel Dust and Alistair. So it's good to see you guys in his house. And hail to our good friend, Bodie Chris, Skull of Calderon's minion, who just gifted us a membership. Thank you for that, my friend. We'll read that in just a second. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Have to go back up a tad. Here we go. I never watched Stranger Things, says AJ Stylehiker. I don't have Netflix, and I don't care about spoilers since I probably won't ever see it. It's a good show. It's a good show with a bad episode. It's like look what happened with Game of Thrones. It was a good show until the last season. You can go back, you can watch the good parts of a show. It's just they jump the shark more than often than not. And of course, we got this one here from Siggy. I think everybody's just saying hi and hello here. Besides, push the button. Let's see here. Wendy Trauma Warrior is the recipient of the Stark of Iron membership. Thank you for that. And Cardiac Kid 86 is the recipient of Stark of Iron gifted membership. Thank you for that. Game of Thrones was the perfect example. Such a good show, but why in the end? Still worth it. Right. I'm a big fan. I love to the Alistair broadcast. We will be having one coming up on YouTube this Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be having that, and then we'll have Alpha After Hours. Once again, it was unlocked last Thursday, and our good friend Casey here was a big part of that.
Glad to do my portion, sir.
So we are happy, and we are moving right along. Again, final points to note, though. It's like we understand what Netflix wants to do. Netflix is catering to us in a way to where we don't have to leave the house, and it's going to become a bigger problem down the line. More and more people are getting very comfortable and staying right at home, working from home. Get some fresh air, kids. I promise it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. I noticed that you upgraded. You upgraded to Angel Dust, yeah, sweetheart. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and cap off our first bit of Hollywood news. Now we got something that's a little bit more depressing. Nobody says fresh airs for losers. Good to see you. Nobody has spoken. We need to have you back on as a guest in the near future, my friend. Hopefully life is treating you well where you are. Out there in the wonderful wide world of the internet land. He is also a coder, ladies and gentlemen. He's done some really cool stuff with some Chrome plugins that he has been improving. So give him a round of applause. You raided me. Oh, we got a raid. Why, thank you. A coder, a programmer. Yeah, a creator. Thank you for the raid, my friend. God bless you for that. Thank you, my friend. And we got, of course, the Hungry Slug. Hello again. Good to meet you, Hungry Slug. We are covering the news of the day, and we're actually going to be getting to a bit of an eye raiser, also a bit of a tearjerker. Nobody seems to know exactly why just yet, why this happened, but here's our second part of watching Hollywood burn. Is our good friend, and by that I mean we don't know her at all, but that's a good way to open every one of these passings, is Victoria Jones, daughter of Tommy Lee Jones, was found dead in a San Francisco hotel. She was 34. Now, this is an unfortunate happenstance that had happened. An investigation is underway after Victoria Jones, the daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones, was found dead at the Fairmount San Francisco hotel. She was 34. San Francisco police say they found a deceased female at the hotel after responding to a report of a deceased person around 3:14 a.m. on Thursday, January 1st. The office of the chief medical examiner identified the body as Victoria Jones. But if I could talk today, that would be phenomenal. In a statement, Fairmont San Francisco says the hotel is cooperating with the investigation. We are deeply saddened by an incident that occurred at the hotel on January 1st, 2026. Our heartfelt condolences are with the family and the loved ones during this very difficult time. The hotel team is actively cooperating and supporting police authorities within the framework of the ongoing investigation. This is a developing story, so we have no other information than that. This literally happened just 2 days ago, a little over 48 hours ago, and we are happy to have everybody here to listen to this sad news. I really can't find a joke to put in this, so we're not going to. It's still too soon. Let's go ahead and pass the stick around. I'm pretty sure there are some theories that are about, especially given what happened with Reiner recently as well. So we'll start with the director. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not sure there's any comparison to Reiner, but when you hear about sudden deaths at young ages, there is an immediate suspicion that comes to mind, which we're not supposed to ask about. And it must be anything but that. And at this point, I no longer believe they are investigating to find any cause, rather just ensure it's not that cause. I don't know if they'll ever bother telling us anymore. They kind of stopped doing that, haven't they? Someone just randomly dies, and they don't bother to say why. They just say, well, we'll look into it later, and they never do.
Absolutely. There seems to be a correlation to more and more of these announcements that have been happening further on down the line. But from what I've gathered, I guess she was a good daughter to Tommy. I don't know if she's done much in the way of like work in the industry or not. I have no information on her at all. Just the only fact that I have is she's the daughter of Tommy Lee Jones.
That's the only information anyone apparently has, except for authorities who may or may not and probably won't be sharing it.
Right. Digny, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I'd have to concur with the director on this one. I mean, we look at this situation, and it is a sad situation. And it's just symptomatic of how little openness, honesty, and transparency is in our discourse now. The daughter of a celebrity dies in a hotel on New Year's Day of this year. The story's a few days old. We've got very little context for the reasons behind the sad death. And then a new topic comes along which completely wipes the slate clean, and we have no conclusion to this series of events. And if this is how the year starts, among other things, folks, because a lot has happened in the past 3 days, if that's going to be 2026 as a whole, God help us all.
It's going to be a tough one to adjust to. We were losing more and more people. When we lost Ozzy and Hulk Hogan and so many others last year, it's a sign that we're all getting older. You know, the people that we grew up, that we idolized with, are leaving us, and it's a sign that our mortality is slowly but surely encroaching on the door, right? So, when we see somebody who's younger than some of us, heck, most of us, right, pass away and to no other reason whatsoever being given just yet, that the pending investigation, it really starts to make you think about things. And maybe that's the reason why I'm trying to force, my otherwise whimsical take on things. And it's kind of difficult and it seems awkward, and hell, I might downright asinine. But yes, mortality is a bitch. Good call there, Sig Volleson. Good call. Lots of evil glorified even. Yeah. Shrubby is already throwing out a common theory that I've heard, of the fact that Tommy Lee Jones has been bucking the apple cart over the established Trump's mustache man. But I don't think it's a political thing whatsoever. But
no.
already beginning.
I think it's I honestly think, Tony, that if it were a political thing, then we could get an explanation out of it. I think it's worse than that. I think this is a sign of where our culture is going. There's no honesty, there's no openness, there's no transparency, and if we
And if
can't
the
get
media
to,
had
and if
the
we can't
flimsiest
get to
evidence
the
whatsoever
bottom,
to they could pin it on Orange Man bad, we'd been hearing that. That would have been the headline.
Yeah,
with that.
that would be true. If it was something that they would have turned into a narrative, we would have heard that immediately. Absolutely.
but in all seriousness, if we can't get to the bottom of the death of a celebrity's daughter, there isn't much hope for regular people.
Right.
Let's just put it that way, and I'll just leave it at that.
Sig Volleson says it was a suspected OD. I don't think she was in anything. That's the thing. Because I looked too. I looked for an IMDb and everywhere, man. I was like, okay, she's got to have been in something, right?
There'll
This
be
is
a
the
lot
very
of
neighborhood of a celebrity. Of
speculation.
course, they're going to suspect OD. In fact, that will
Yeah.
probably be the likely named cause, even if that isn't what happened.
There's a lot of speculation, but little fact.
Right.
Go ahead, Casey.
What's your thoughts there, Casey, on this matter? Is it just a case of a really depressing passing of a person? Is there more at play with the lack of information? Less? What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, because of my pseudo occupation here, may I take a moment to wish the family and all the loved ones well. I know they'll never know me and I'll never know them, but I do share their grief as just a thoughtful, thinking human being. As to the rest of this, the sorry fact of it is that if you were to look at violent crimes and murders today, there's a really high correlation that if they don't come up with a suspect fairly soon, you're not going to get to know anything at all. The bad part of this is, as you all have so ably illustrated, because our society is not very forthcoming with this information these days. Even if somebody did know something, they're likely is not going to say anything because it won't be in the news.
Absolutely right. And it's terrible to think about. Scooby, what are your thoughts on this, my dear?
So I've heard about this yesterday. And I gotta say, it's really sad when things like this happen. You hate to hear about it. You wish it wasn't true, and it's just not a great way to start off the years to hear about someone passing.
Right.
Especially if it's, how should I put it? Even if you don't know the person, it's especially sad for whom lost their daughter. It's especially sad for Tommy. So I feel very, very, very sorry for him. I mean, this is just a horrible way to start off your new year. And whenever I hear things like this is what tells me this is not going to be a good year.
It's a sign that it may not be a good year for some, but as always, we need to find a way to make the year better for all of us here at the ground level. We're not industry people, we're not official industry people. We are entertainers, and we are people that like to also discuss the news from time to time. We just need to, continue to expand our bubbles and our influence, because at the end, whenever everything at the top eventually crumbles, we'll be there to pick up the pieces. Shrubby goes on to say, indeed, mine is pure speculation. I have no evidence beyond the event happening to even be suspicious. This is not Hollywood's first time taking out families of people who don't toe the line. See, of course, Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland's daughter, and, of course, Redford and James Dean. Yeah, I mean, there's correlations. Obviously, if something has been done by an entity more than one times, then, monkey see, monkey do, right?
I mean, look
That's
at the
usually-
poltergeist curse.
Yeah. Anybody who worked on Poltergeist, they got
The girl who played
yeah.
the girl who played the bigger sister, she got beaten and killed by her ex-boyfriend right on her driveway.
Yep. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this one up in a nice, neat bow. To Tommy and his family, I'm sorry for your loss. You probably will never hear me say this in the grand scheme of things, but we hope that things meet out for you and yours. And I hope that we don't lose many more people into the oncoming year, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we most likely will. We got one mega chat that crept into the PayPal, so we're going to go ahead and nail it right quick.
Mr. Stark, it's time for some super chats.
And the mega chat is from, of course, Alice Lovely. Thank you, my dear. A very generous $10 donation saying, have a great show. Thank you for that, my friend. I hope that you're enjoying it if you're still out there, or if you've moved on to another show, that you're having a lot of fun. And AJ Star Hiker bringing on the pain with, well, Marcella's not here to bemoan it, but...
Unicorn!
There it is, unicorns. Jason Love says, Carol Ann died young of cancer. The preacher dude was terminal with... okay, well, you gotta... Carol Ann died young of cancer. The preacher dude in 2 was terminal with stomach C while filming. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, the girl who did Carol Ann died of stomach cancer.
Fox Hills is already calling 2026 is going to be more the same as last year. I sure as hell hope not. That's just a depressing thing to think about. Well, let's talk about something that's a little bit more upbeat and is probably portending future successes that I plan on having in VR chat. Here's our first bit of our gaming news block about how more people were spent online wearing a headset, an Oculus or a Quest, than they were out there at Times Square listening to Dick Clark for the umpteenth time. Here's a little gaming news. VR Chat set a new concurrent user record on New Year's Eve. More people than ever before chose VR Chat to ring in the new year. VR Chat broke its concurrently connected user record as the year flipped from 2025 to 2026 in various time zones. I should know, I had a server crash while broadcasting Radio 616 that same night. According to figures posted on social media by the head of the community, as the new year rolled across the United States from December 31st at 11:59 p.m. to January 1st at 12 a.m., from Eastern Time to Pacific Time, VR Chat servers were supported nearly 150,000 staying online in various spaces together concurrently. VR Chat's longtime head of the community, Tupper, posted on Blue Sky that Japan saw a surprisingly high peak figure over the holiday with no specific number provided, as well as the specific peak numbers across the 4 time zones, dividing up the United States for concurrently connected users. 147,000. I fell into that bracket at 12 o'clock because I was hanging out with Snowdub to about 12:30. I had Alistar do like a New Year's tour, guesting on 4 or 5 shows that night. Central picked up another 1,000, but again, this is also bleeding over from other time zones. Mountain 141,000 and Pacific 127,000. Now, as my lobby died, I ended the show early because I was also a little tipsy on Sazerac, and I said, you know what, nobody's gonna miss it if I dip out early, so I did. So that I guess a lot of people were also with that same sentiment of, well, you know what, I'm too drunk to breathe right now. I'm going to bed. While VR Chat doesn't always detail how many users across the service and headset versus traditional flat interfaces, the figures help ground the narrative around VR headset use. Tupper noted that the normal weekend use of VR Chat in recent times has been around 120 to 125,000 concurrent users at peaks. As Big Screen Beyond continues scaling production of its ultralight headset design in 2026 and Valve prepares to sell the lightweight modular Steam frame as well, we'll be curious to see where VR Chat's peak figures land on January 1st, 2027. If you were in VR Chat for New Year's Eve, hi, Alistar was, please share in the comments below, which I won't because I'm just reading it out now. The name of the space you chose to be in to celebrate for the new year. And for those outside of VR who still might not see the overall trend here, did the people who stood freezing under the lights at Times Square in New York for most of the New Year's Eve spend their time any better than people cozy at home wearing Big Screen Beyond 2 to visit VR chat. So yes, there is an untapped market that Alistor has dipped into recently. In fact, it's one of the biggest reasons why I use this platform now is the numbers just keep on growing. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And Alistor's there to entertain everybody to the best of his ability. And all I do is I just do the same thing. Instead, I can actually get away with playing my records. I can play all of the, Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, Kay Kaiser, Andrew Sisters. I could play every, Bing track, every Dino, everything. And get away with it without having to worry about a copyright claim. So I'm actually able to DJ the radio station as I originally intended with Alistor. That's the reason why I use VR chat. Yeah, you're going to have to move from the pilot to a bigger world, Sin. Yeah, because pilot only covers 30 users. But then again, I'm probably going to also have to invest into a new machine or a headset at some eventuality. But Arcater, what are your thoughts on this, my friend?
I'm overall glad to see it, although I have some mixed feelings about VR. I was an early adopter. I was, one of my very first streams, where I streamed a game, I was streaming Fallout VR. And no, wait, that was actually VR. I streamed, several other games in VR, one sailing game, and a lot of sculpting. Well, that's one of the reasons I really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic new way to work and sculpt models without having to touch Blender, which still scares and confuses me. That said, I do hope this doesn't become the number one way we socialize going forward, because I can't help but observe it makes us even more isolated and vulnerable to technical subterfuge. But overall, I'm positive. I do like VR tech. I just don't want to wind up in Zuckerberg's brain farms.
I get that, and this is I'm approaching this from a business standpoint and an entertainer standpoint. I've seen people hook up in VR chat. I've even seen drama that's very akin to drama on YouTube with certain people being outed for being a certain kind of person that's really bad. I've actually had to diffuse disputes over that issue just to administrate and moderate the community, which is now 300 strong. I've been down there for like a month and some change, and I already got 300 people following Radio 616. It's literally the most lucrative expansion the Stark of Iron channel has had. But at the same time, I also see your point that there's a lot of people that really do eat, breathe, and shit in a VR headset, and that is a problem at the end of the day. So I can see both sides of the coin.
That said, if that's where it's going, none of us are going to stop it. Might as well leverage it as best we can, which mostly is me scolding myself because I have VRKit, I've got VR chat installed. It's been there for, I think, about a year now, and I have yet to actually use it.
Heck, this background that I have here is from the V Tower VR the VR world. With the shark swimming behind me and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I use it for film sets, too. In fact, we're going to be doing some skits with it. I am building a team there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And they're all, stable, mature adults.
I think it's time to dust off a headset and start getting more active.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Digny, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, as someone who uses videotapes, DVD players, and recycling bins as part of my setup, asking me about VR is like asking a dinosaur how a car works. It's...
Well, fun fact, dinosaur, the car works on you. Had to.
But if you guys look at my setup, you'd think I was crazy, because what's holding up my main monitor is a DVD player, some books, and videotapes, okay? What's holding up my computer is like a wooden desk, like one of those mobile wooden desks, an old Xbox One, and a food waste recycling bin that I don't use as a recycling bin. So it's brand new and very clean, but because of that, okay?
Working at typewriter, and that's a monument art attributing to the advancement of technology. It's beautiful, really.
I mean, I've always been of the mindset, guys, of you make do with what you get. I understand the appeal of VR, especially when the Apple Vision Pro came out. I thought that's going to be a breakthrough for VR, but it just goes to show that quite a few people don't like it when technology gets too close. And
Right.
I think in the future, assuming we have a future, of course, because the past few days have made that a bit shaky. But if we do have a future, then I think younger generations will embrace it because it will be normalized by then. And, as much as we don't like the term normalize because of its many negative connotations, let's face it, half of the people who make their money nowadays would have been considered crazy 50 years ago.
True.
So
I'm one of the
best of luck to you.
unfortunate. I'm one of the unfortunate people that is still suffering from both symptoms: the way that I make money now, and the fact that I'm still batshit crazy.
I'm just
but
personally, I'm going to stick with. Personally, I'm going to stick with my setup until it literally all comes crashing down. So
I would like to
All
observe
right.
ostensibly sane people got us to where we are now, so
Casey, what are your thoughts, my friend, on this whole ordeal? I know you're still trying to get your stuff set up because you want to listen to Al and meet some of the fine folks down there that I've gathered.
Well, yes, actually, I would. And to be quite honest, I'd actually like to use the venue to introduce people to some of my stories. Like, for example, if we could, for example, use the image you're seeing now in some way, we could adapt it. So, on the other hand, I have a book, and all I have to do is just, do my best to read the story, and they get it, and it would.
I might be able to do that.
And it would be technically, I think, a lot easier for me to do that than it would be to do some of the things that I've been doing to try to create content. So I can't wait for it. I'd love to meet people there, and I'd love to be able to hawk my wares.
Right.
Because if it could happen for you, Tony, it can happen for me.
Well, what I planned on doing is whenever I, do those stories, whenever I have Alistair read your scary stories for you, for your channel, I was thinking about adding them to my radio station and, plugging you during the broadcasts. I was going to ask you that no better time than the present, given the subject matter.
Tony, it would be such an honor to be associated with 616 in any way. It would be
Say less. Say less.
I plan on giving Alistair the very best material that I can. And now that things have kind of calmed down for me, at least theoretically, I should be able to get back to starting in mass.
Fantastic.
Because that's really what I've been trying to do, but have had some delays. But I would really love to go that one extra step further and be able to, mix some of your stuff with some of my stuff and be able to, now, theoretically speaking, because I don't know, so I'll ask you. I assume that it would be possible to record anything that you would do in VR chat. And
I recently had a friend show me exactly what to do and how.
That's what I'm wondering, because that way, if we could record it, we could put it on my channel. Like I say,
sounds good. Now, like I said, let's not dwell too much on it. But what I can definitely promise you now, and with the fullest confidence, is I could have the radio play it, broadcast it. I can record the radio on the table doing it, and I can send you that video for you to upload on your channel, and that would be a way to cross-platform it. I know that's where I think that's where your thought process is going, and I think I already got you, my friend. Let's keep her moving
but
along.
but
Yeah.
okay. In
Yeah.
answer to your question, no, I love it. I can't wait to get personally involved in the virtual world
Mhm.
because although I like the real world, when you have cancer, it's really hard to go out in the sunshine.
Agreed. Agreed. We're going to be working with you, Casey. You are a mensch, and you are one of the most creative people I've ever met.
Thank you. From you, that comes a real compliment. I only wish-
Scooby, Sweet Pea, what are your thoughts on people saying to hell with New Year's Rockin' Eve? I'm going to stay at home and put a headset on.
You will never, ever, 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 ever catch me going into VR chat. I prefer actually talking to people like face to face.
Well, there's only one person showing his
prefer,
face here, and that's the
no,
director.
I prefer talking to people face to face, having fun, getting, partying with my friends, watching the TV with my nieces, and singing along to whatever is being played, watching fireworks and things like that. I would much rather spend my time in the real world than in a VR chat. In my opinion, VR chats are niche at the moment, and I have no intention of ever getting involved with them. I think that they are a gimmick. I think that they are a gimmick for the moment.
Well, Scooby, that's the whole point of building my business. I gotta have gimmicks, honey.
I don't care, honey. That's
and whenever
my
I get to 5,000 subs, you'll probably go, and maybe I should give it a shot there, dear.
I have counterpoints.
Yeah, go right ahead.
First off, well, as you observed, I'm the only one who's actually putting much of the real face in this. Credit, please. That said, at the same time, I freely admit I am a neurotic recluse who doesn't really spend a lot of time with random people. This is because I find it much easier to maintain my optimism for humanity when I minimize my exposure to it as much as possible. And VR is one of the many ways one can do that, where you can meet all sorts of people who are possibly, or in fact quite likely, absolutely unhinged without having to worry that they'll show up at your place of business.
Right. Absolutely.
And I'm an extreme introvert myself, and I very rarely, if ever, go out. I like my own personal space. The only people I actually enjoy being around are my friends from high school and my nieces and my mom, dad, and cousins. That's really all I like being around. I don't like being introduced to things that will freak me out or anything like that. VR chat would be, to me, highly annoying. It would put me very out of my element. And I would much rather spend my time, like I said, I'd much rather spend my time with my nieces and having fun there. Like I was yesterday, I was watching my nieces. I was having fun playing around with them and stuff. So for me, I'm sorry, but I find VR chat a gimmick, just like 3D TVs.
There's Kyle Reese going, excuse me, it's ma'am. I don't go to strange places with Gentiles.
Oh, damn.
God. Oh, God, no.
You know, if I ever had a VR system, it would probably break because the reason I was having technical issues with my camera, folks, was because of the fact that I was standing up and moving my setup to a stand-up position because my back is currently hurting. So if my setup can fail like that, then it's going to definitely fail if I ever try virtual reality.
Sig Volleson says...
place.
Oh, sorry.
It has a place. No. I was just going to reiterate. Virtual reality has a place in tech, and hopefully it can do well in a competitive environment. I think the best attempt at it was the Apple Vision Pro. Great piece of technology, but a bit overpriced. But it shows that the concept works. It's just up to the people to decide whether or not they want it en masse.
I have, in the course of a little over a month, brought 300 people into another community, another Discord, about 80 of them to my channel. I'm using it as a way to continue to entertain and meet more people and build my audience. Now, I know that there are multiple layers to a VR community, because Sigvalis in here says, I played Second Life for a couple of years. It's sort of close to VR chat. There is an appeal of disconnecting from reality and just plugging into Ready Player One. And VR chat and Second Life are a lot like what Ready Player One was with the movie, you know, where, oh, you could literally be anything and do whatever you want. But you know, there is a time and a place for it. It's just another way to play with your toys. That's what I'm looking at it. It's just, hey, I got more toys in my toy box. They just happen to be digital, and I feel like playing with my toys for a little while. As long as you still have your feet based in reality whenever you put that thing on, it's not gonna affect you in any way. You know, like a lot of people swear up and down that it will.
The problem is almost never the technology. The technology is a thing. It continues to only be a thing. One day it might not just be a thing, but for now it continues to just be a thing, and therefore it is not the problem. The problem is how people use the technology.
Right.
And that it remains open in the air. I would say Stark's absolutely using it the right way, to a purpose, for a reason. If it's just for escapism, and if that desire for escapism causes muscle atrophy, that's using it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you start, you know, getting into the artificial amniotic fluid chambers and plugging into the matrix, that's when you know you've gone too far.
Yeah, and like Tony said, he's been using it to bring in
new viewers to the channel. They're bringing it, and they're coming to the channel. Like,
for me, in my case, that would never happen. Nobody would want to come into podcasts. I'm sorry, it's not my thing.
And we got. My staff is broken. Please, Rosie, I need this.
I live in a hotel.
And I fucking hate it. And whenever I did one with Alistar making fun of Vox, it's like, please, Val, I need this. I need my body back. And I work as a janitor over there at Killjoys. But I personally don't play VR anymore because I kind of didn't like it. I mean, everybody's got their preference. But all I know is that the whole point of that article was there is a paradigm shift in the cultural zeitgeist between generations, where more and more people are plugging into their Oculus than they are going outside and watching the ball drop, or even watching the ball drop on the television. I mean, that was the whole point of that article. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up on a nice, neat bow, almost at the top of the hour. And we're going to go to our second part of gaming news. Now, for those of you that are, you know, longtime gamers, I'm pretty sure everybody here is, or at least in some part has, you know, had a console or two in their life. You know, the golden rule. The golden rule is AAA games based on Hollywood productions suck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Green Lantern sucked. Captain America sucked. The only good game that has came out based on a movie in a long time was T2D. And that wasn't because it wasn't a AAA game. That's because it was an indie title with real fans. So what if I told you that Lionsgate is expanding into a AAA studio to bring us things like John Wick and Saw?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, yes. And the Saw games weren't that fun either. If you played those on the Xbox 360, those suck too. Here's the next bit of gaming news, folks. This is going to fall right on their ass. Lionsgate executive teases new AAA games based on owned IP, mentions Saw and John Wick. Lionsgate executive Adam Fogelson tells investors that there are a number of game licensing opportunities, including projects in the AAA video game space. TLDR, Lionsgate could be investing in high-quality video game projects, licensing out key IPs and franchises to make AAA games. New video game projects set in the Saw and or John Wick franchises could be in development at Lionsgate, and it's possible that the games are in the higher AAA caliber and not smaller scale indie titles. That's your first mistake. The second mistake is trying to make a video game based around John Wick. If you're going to do that, you might as well just make a game about like a prototype game, only without the superpowers. Besides the fact that your superpowers, you can still whoop everybody's ass. Okay. So it would still be one of those. It would be like playing Doom, but instead of like murdering demons, you're just taking out mercenaries and enemy spies, right? Lionsgate may have licensed out big franchises like John Wick, Saw, and others for new video games during a recent Q2 26 earnings call. Lionsgate movie division boss Adam Fogelson mentions that there is increased interest and opportunity to make new AAA games based on hit Lionsgate IP. Fogelson directly mentions John Wick and Saw, possibly indicating both of these will receive some sort of game adaptation in the future. Saw already had two actually, and they both had clumsy controls, bad lighting, terrible camera angling. The puzzles were fun, though, until they became monotonous. It was a flop. John Wick has appeared in games like Fortnite and technically already has 2 games with the tactical strategy game John Wick Hex, as well as a VR game, but no dedicated AAA shooter exists for the franchise. As for Saw, rumor has it that there was a horror game called Project Gideon that has been in development at some point, and Gideon was said to be a single-player survival experience with a brand new story. It's unclear what Fogelson was referring to and whether or not these properties will have individual games or not. It's also possible that Lionsgate has licensed out other franchises like the Hunger Games for crossovers, promos, and even a fully fledged Battle Royale. Well, anybody who plays Battle Royale based on the Hunger Games, do you want to know how you play a game of the Hunger Games? You start at the cornucopia, you get all the weapons, and you kill each other. You don't go and hide in the woods. You don't go and try and survive. All the players are going to go to the cornucopia. They're going to grab their weapons. They're going to kill each other. Oh, round's over. Yeah. Oh, what does this remind me of? Oh, Fortnite. Oh, well, we already got that. Cool. Like, what? What? Well, what do you guys think about this, guys? What do you guys think? What? Like, what?
I think it's making Casey ill.
Oh. I hope that's not the case, but I would understand why if that were. So this, I have to say, is going to be very interesting to see. The sad part is that with these IPs, you could do a whole lot of very interesting games that we can trust. They are not going to do at all. Like a Saw game where you're running the Saw cult, trying to divide a death trap that, mangles the person just enough, but then they're just insane enough to join your stupid-ass cult afterwards. I think I am not alone in wondering who loses a finger in a death trap and thinks, these are the people I want to work with.
Right.
As for a John Wick game, creating games in the world might be fun, mostly where you have to avoid getting jobs that have you up against John Wick. Otherwise, it's plot armor, the video game.
Mm-hmm. If I want to play John Wick the game, I'll just reskin Doom. Because, you're unstoppable. You're good at everything. You're nigh invulnerable, right?
I personally feel much better about
a bunch of guys
killing demons.
No, yeah. I'd rather kill demons. I'm with you.
Which ideas that they will never, ever get near. I'm more interested in the Gideon property just because they say it's new, but I doubt that.
Right. Valid points all around. Digny, what are your thoughts? Is this dead on arrival?
Wick, no, I'm more confident in Ubisoft making a John Wick game than Lionsgate at this point, okay? Stay in your lane. There's already a John Wick game with John Wick in it. It's called Cyberpunk 2077, okay? Okay? People have had their fill of Keanu Reeves in games, okay? Just partner up with CD Projekt Red. They already have the assets primed and ready. Games been made on the Saw franchise in the past, and they both failed for reasons outlined earlier. Lionsgate wants to pursue something that isn't going to work. Okay? Stay in your lane, make movies, don't go into an industry that you have no real knowledge on, because who
Right.
can make better games than you, and their games are now crap.
Caleb Levine says John Wick versus Demons is basically Constantine. Yes. And AJ says, I'm actually playing Cyberpunk while listening to the stream.
Yep. I think although I will never play Cyberpunk 2077 again, I think with the Phantom Liberty DLC, if they do make a second one, they've got to have Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba in the game, because that would be a good duo for a game. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Casey, what's your thoughts, my friend?
Well, sorry that I got a little choked up there. It was a little bit to swallow at first. My
That's what she. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay, thank you. I was just about to say that there are two words that tells me that this is doomed from the start. Lionsgate. Let us talk about Lionsgate for a moment. Lionsgate is a quasi movie studio. I use the term quasi because I cannot think of a really good movie, really good property they've come out with in years, except maybe for The Beekeeper, but I'm not even sure about, I enjoyed that one, but that I think it's a one-off. The thing is, what they're doing is they're doing the one thing that everybody in Hollywood is doing. We've got a Disney article coming up later. It's the same thing. They're trying to mine what little IP they have because they haven't done anything in so long that captured popular attention that they're getting desperate. So they figure, okay, if we whore out John Wick and and Saw, maybe we can get a little bit of money in and be culturally relevant for 30 seconds.
That's a fact. And that's a fact, Jack. He's not wrong. Oh, yeah. She mentioned Sazerac whenever they were drinking Alistair's Sazzy last night or a couple of nights ago in the matinee. All right, this one's for you.
I want some fucking Sazerac! God damn it!
There you go, buddy. Scooby, what are your thoughts on this?
If you guys are familiar with what I'm about to say, then kudos to you. 2 words: Quantum Break.
There you go. That's an oldie but goldie.
This game was a AAA game by Remedy Entertainment, and as you played it, the TV show changed. The TV show, every decision you made in the game affected the TV show, and this game failed on a massive level here. So if you're going to make a game, and I mean like Lionsgate needs to take a look at this game and see themselves how this is not a good idea.
Right.
Look at how bad Quantum Break had. With Quantum Break, every single decision you made in the game, it was going to affect the show come the next episode. And
right, absolutely.
They need to, I think Lionsgate needs to take a step back and realize, there are a lot of games that have done shit like this before. Maybe we shouldn't do it. It's not gonna look good and it's not gonna have good results.
Good to see you, Arrows 218. How you doing, my friend? Go ahead.
Possibly would work at all.
So it's not going to have good results. So if they are smart, which they usually aren't, they'll put the brakes on the whole project, on the whole idea. Otherwise, we will end up with another Quantum Break.
Absolute. No fault to that end whatsoever. But yes, this is just more of the same thing. If you're going to put a movie into a video game, chances are movies and video games are intrinsically two different forms of media. This is the issue that a lot of people don't get. When we see Captain America, throwing Black Widow up onto the skiff in Avengers, right? You go, okay, that's a really cool scene, but it's one scene. Imagine trying to, you want to recreate that scene in an Avengers video game of the Chitauri are invading, and you're like, well, I really want to put the scene in there, but I have to make the controls so twitchy to where it's incredibly difficult, and then the player's like, oh, crap, I threw her up against the wall. I threw her here. I threw her, it's the concept is different because when you're watching people do stuff on the big screen, it's you get the dopamine hit immediately. You don't want to be these people during that moment. You're getting your entertainment that way, right? So whenever you try to do something in a video game where you're like, oh, well, I'm going to be Captain America or hell, Iron Man even, I'm just going to do all the cool scenes from the movies and stuff. They end up failing. Look at the Iron Man had games that came out on the 360. 360 was notorious, absolutely notorious for having some of the worst Marvel IP ports. The only one that's even halfway playable was Captain America because it took place during World War II and you fought Iron Cross at the end of the game.
Tony? Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can give you one that's even worse.
Uh-oh.
I had a Wii when they came out, and I have never seen such awful ports of any kind of superhero games than anything they did on the Wii. It was so repetitious that you could never play it.
Don't tell me it was Silver Server for the NES.
Oh, God, dude. It was... honestly, I know what you're talking about, and
yes.
it was about that bad.
Oh,
and
God.
I had several of when the Avengers were still around and really big. I bought all of the Avengers games that I could get for Wii, and they
Even
were all.
Thor? I'm so sorry.
And they were all technically the same game.
This is reskinned. Yep.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I thought you might want to know that there was something worse than, and I know because I tried to play it and failed.
Which was?
Well, no, what I'm saying is those 4 games were so bad that I couldn't even play them because it was the same scene over and over again, 20 or 30 different times. You never got anywhere.
Right.
I just remembered there was another AAA game that tried to do the same thing as Quantum Break, and that was Silent Hill.
Oh, God.
Yes, but
we go down the Silent Hill bad ports.
Previous to the Silent Hill 2 remake, they tried to make another Silent Hill game that was the equivalent of Quantum Break, where you played the game and then you would also have an episode, a TV episode, kind of. And that did not go well either.
Apparently, you can only glue people to one screen at a time.
Yes, agreed. Well, all I know is that this is a recurring trope. We're gonna feature some movie IPs in a video game, and then we're gonna completely and utterly fail at it after blowing a budget. So I don't expect John Wick the game to be anything spectacular, and Saw already tried and failed 2 games. But let's go ahead and refocus. Well, I don't think we have any supers that have crept in or megas.
There is actually one exception.
Go ahead.
Terminator 2.
Well, Terminator 2 is not a AAA game; it's an indie game. You're talking about 2D.
I know, but it's still a game that came out that was based.
We're talking about AAA titles. We're talking about.
I know, sweetie, but I'm just saying, that's my way of saying it can be done.
Yeah, just don't make it into a AAA title and get a dedicated studio, and you're off to the races. Our good friend Shrubby 1989. Now we do get to play a clip. The Shrubster with the Moster gifted 10 Stark of Fire memberships directly to the channel. The people that are receiving one today is Abe's Gonna Get You, and he will. You better watch out. Sir Crocodile 54, Lorenzo Sleestack, Sub to Zelda King YouTube, Adam Tribbett 3294, Angel Ramirez, not Ramirez Z, 936, Tatsumana 8447, Kathy Skywalker 77, Floral from Under a Rock. I have not seen you in a long time, Floral.
Yeah.
Where you been, Floral?
Yeah.
Good that you're still subscribed to my channel, my friend. We need to catch up, my friend. And of course, Jukebox Poppy 182. Fantastic. I want my Eldar hookers with my free travel webway plus the Emperor. That's right. Fantastic. Good. Floral's not lurking, but he obviously was just gifted a membership. Fantastic.
I'm thinking I might actually gift him to everyone who's subbed, whether they're here or not. In which case, I'd probably owe thanks to Shrubby as well.
Mm-hmm. And AJ Starhiker with a $5 super sticker of a controller flexing with a critical hit. That membership was most definitely a critical hit. Wow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and refocus, and we're going to get into our odd news segment, ladies and gentlemen, our odd news segment of the day. And this is another thing that I've noticed a lot down in the VR chat circles. Everybody that's got hand motion does a little silly little gesture and says 6-7. But us old fogies are probably wondering, what does it even mean? We are here to answer that question with our odd news segment. All right. This is a Words and Phrases 6-7 Tops 2025's list of overused words and phrases. 6-7. What does it mean? What does it mean? What do the numbers mean, Mason? Well, I'm here to tell you what the numbers mean. Respondents to an annual Michigan College survey of overused and misused words of phrases say 6-7 is cooked. Should come to massive full stop heading into the new year. Those are among the top 10 words in the 50th annual Banished Words list released Thursday by Lake Superior State University. The tongue-in-cheek roundup of overused slang started in 1976 as a New Year's Eve party idea and is affectionately called the list of the Queen's English for misuse, overuse, and general uselessness. Around 1,400 submissions came from all 50 states and a number of countries outside of the United States, including Uzbekistan, Brazil, and Japan, according to Lake Superior State. Also in the top 10 are demure, incentivize, perfect, gift/gifted in the standard of pronouns vernacular. My bad, reach out. And my bad and reach out also made the list decades ago in 98 and 94, respectively. The list definitely represents the fad and the vernacular trends of the younger generation, said David Travis, Lake Superior University president. Social media allows greater opportunity to misunderstand or misuse words or using them terms without shared through texting, primarily or through posting with no body language until there is body language with the hands or tone context. It is very easy to misunderstand these words. Few phrases in 2025 befuddled parents, teachers, and others over the age of, say, 40. More than 6-7dictionary.com even picked it as their 2025 word of the year, while other dictionaries chose words like slop and rage bait. Those are also very common in the circuits down there in VR. But what does 6-7 actually mean? It exploded over the summer, especially among Gen Z, and is considered to be the nonsensical in meaning, an inside joke driven by social media. Don't worry, because we're still trying to figure out exactly what it means. I will tell you what it means if they don't have it. I know what it means and what it means. Each number can be spoken as 6-7, even as combined as the number 67 at college basketball games. Some fans explode when a team reaches that point total. The placement is 6-7 on top of the banished list puts it in good company. In 2019, the centuries-old Latin phrase quid pro quo clarice was the top requested phrase to ban from popular use in 2017. Fake news was also got the most votes that year. Alana Bobbin, a 19-year-old sophomore in the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, is unapologetic about using 6-7. I find joy in it, Bobbin said. It's a little bit silly, even though I don't understand what it means. See, even the kids don't know. They're just going 6-7. Oh, Lord. Most of these kids don't even know. Jalen Brazil says a small group of his friends use 6-7, and it comes up a couple of times a week, but he won't utter it. Never. I don't really get the joke, says Brazil, a 19-year-old sophomore in the University of Michigan. I don't see what's funny about it, but banning it, even in jest, might be a bit of a stretch, he said, adding to the use that he does with other words and phrases on the list. I've always used the word cooked, Brazil said. I just think it got popular on the internet over this past year. It's like saying, give it up, it's over. Some of the phrases do have longevity, Travis said. I don't think they'll ever go away. Like at the end of the day, he said, I used my bad today. I feel comfortable using it. I started using it when I was young. A lot of us older people are still using it. Travis said that while some terms on the list will stick around in perpetuity, there we go, others will be fleeting. I think 6-7 next year will be gone, he said. All right, kids. They did not give us the meaning like I wanted them to.
I doubt there ever was a meaning.
There is a meaning.
I know you say there's meaning and that you think there's meaning and that a lot of people would agree that there is meaning based upon the meaning you presented. I still continue to doubt there is any meaning, and that if there is meaning, as you suggest, anyone who's using it knows what that is, which would kind of defy the idea that that is the meaning. If they don't even know the meaning, it means something else. In this case, I would say that this is an example of something going viral, said with enough enthusiasm that it goes viral, and it could have been anything said by someone at the right time with enough enthusiasm.
I know what it means.
That's my guess.
I know what it means. 6-7 is the atomic number on the periodic table of the elements for holmium, which is spelled HO in abbreviation. When you use 6-7 at someone, you're calling them a hoe.
Oh, God.
A compelling hypothesis. That said, I am still skeptical. I think half the reason they chose it was just to annoy everyone, and the more they annoyed old people, the more it went wild.
Director, you have some thoughts on this. I'm going to go to the facilities. So, yes, I know that's not it's the explanation. I have it on the on multiple sources. It's referencing holmium on the periodic table in a pseudo intellectual way to call somebody a hoe. I'm not joking. Anyway, I'll be back.
Alternatively, to say someone's that they're my homie. Yeah, I'm not too keen on it. Again, I'm doubtful because again, most people using it, I don't think know that's supposed to be meaning. Ergo, when they're saying it, that can't be the meaning. For the word to have that meaning, the people using it have to be using it to that end, and they're not. And I think, quite frankly, the reason they chiefly say it is because it's fun to say, and it annoys older people. This is probably explains a lot of the previous catchphrases that have ostensibly been banished, which I find hilarious. Yeah, whether you like it or not, the idea that any sort of self-esteemed group could banish a word is absolutely in jest to the extreme. But you just know there are a few college Karens who unironically think that's how it works, because people have been trying to control speech in the most inane of ways all of my existence, and I'm pretty sure it's been a trend throughout all of human history, trying to say what words you can't say, what words you can't. Quite frankly, this could have been a phrase they came up with just to replace the R word, and has that meaning depending on who they're saying it to.
So, yes, again, I reiterate, I really wish I was kidding. But from multiple sources, that is what I have gathered. And out of all of the people that have hypothesized it, they've all had different theories. But this one truly was the one that lived up to the legacy of what 6-7 was.
I hope. Look, I'm not going to say I believe it. I will say I hope that's the case, mostly because it suggests a significant number of people understand what the periodic table of elements even is.
Is right. It is very optimistic, given the fact that the vernacular is often used without context for the sake of annoying people. Digny, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, as someone who speaks the language of the Zir, all I have to say is 6767 skibbity D's nuts, bruh. You're getting cooked. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's subliminal messaging for the end of the world in 2067. Okay? I really have come to the conclusion that people just make shit up. Put it into, sorry for my language, but people make things up, put it into the zeitgeist to just confuse the population. We're overloaded with so much information, and if there's too much problematic information, something insane happens to cover up all the previous topics. If you want a living, breathing example, check X over the last 24 hours as a news source, right? As of the making of this live stream, obviously. But in regards to 6-7, maybe we need less 6-7 and more 69. Okay, folks? Whatever happened to 69? Eh? Why is it all 6-7? It should be 69.
That is a contradicting statement. Maybe 6-7 might be used as something to the position of the numbers, right? So we really truly do not know in the grand scheme of things what's going on. And hail to Randall Hess. I figured you would want to come up, but I guess not. You were one of the funders for this program, so the door is still open if you want to be a special guest in the future. Since the StarkCast starring you only got one person to join us today, and that was Casey. But it's good to see you, Randall Hess, and I hope that you had a blessed New Year. 69, the best number. It is the best number. Absolutely. 69.
It holds a dear place in my heart.
Bruh. 69.
And other places.
69, bruh. Gay.
Casey, are you okay? I heard you were coughing earlier. I had to mute you. Are you all right, buddy?
I thought I did that, but I know somebody.
I took care of it. Care of it. You're good.
Anyway, thank you. Yes, I am. All I could say is that I don't know where the origin of this word came from. I have no clue. And the really ironic thing is the way our society is today. When something goes viral, I don't even know that the people that first came up with it, if you ask them now, would be able to tell you what the origin of the word is, because these words get so recycled that by the time you're done, it's like playing telephone. You never know what you started with.
Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true. For what I've gathered, though, I honestly feel like I'm just going to stay a held up hope with the common thesis, and we can even refer to Google just for a laugh, because I got my reports from the people in question that were using it. I was like, "What does that mean?" And they told me. So, Scooby, what are your thoughts on
This whole thing makes my head hurt.
That sums it up, yeah.
That does indeed sum it up for sure.
This makes my head hurt. This went viral?
Yes.
Seriously?
This has been a viral phrase for the bulk of the year, man.
Are people that absent-minded?
Yes.
Oh my god, and this makes my head hurt. The fact that people, this is what people have decided to go viral nowadays is sad. You can't think of anything anything else to be viral about. This is it.
All right, so here's what we've gotten now. So I may or may not have been trolled. Oh, no. I may or may not have been lied to. Let's go ahead and see what Google thinks about this particular situation here. All right. According to what 6'7" means. All right. The phrase 6'7" is a viral internet meme and slang term that has no fixed meaning and is used nonsensically. Primarily by teens and tweens, it gained popularity on social media and was named Dictionary.com's 2025 Word of the Year. The term originated from the 2024 rap song Doot Doot 6'7" by Philadelphia rapper Skrilla. Skrilla stated he never intended for the number to have any specific meaning, which is why it spread so widely. The song became popular as background audio for vocal media videos, and particularly those featuring NBA player LaMelo Ball, who is 6 feet 7 inches tall. There's a connotation. The meme was further then popularized by a high school basketball prospect, Talon T.K. Kinney, who frequently used the phrase in interviews. A specific hand gesture, the up and down, upward facing palms, which is what I see in VR chat a lot, often accompanies the phrase. The usage and cultural impact. 6'7" meme is a form of brain rot slang intended to be absurd and is used as an inside joke and for way younger generations like Alpha to bond and distinguish themselves from adults. The joke for kids that adults is trying to find a meaning for something that is intentionally meaningless, which is a lot of Gen Alpha memeing. It is used as spontaneous interjection for whenever the numbers were heard or seen, leading to
6'7".
disruptions in classrooms, where some teachers have banned the term. Businesses, including Southwest Airlines and Pizza Hut, have incorporated 6'7" into marketing campaigns. Now, just so that people are not... Here's homium, and it is the atomic number 6'7". This is what I was told. And I thought that people would use this to call somebody a hoe. Evidently, I was wrong.
Well, there may be a subset of people that do use it in that connotation, though.
The chemistry nerds are surely using in that context. Again, also possibly calling their chemistry bros homies.
Right.
You see, the mistake you made, Tony, was putting thought into the narrative.
Right. That seems to be the issue.
The best memes, historically, are the ones where no thought is put into them.
Blank slates, which everyone can project whatever they like. Also fun to say.
Whoever told you that is too smart for Gen Z, but the person was a Gen Zer. That's the weird thing. Hail to John Durham 6172. Down the rabbit hole we go, indeed. Curious
Layers
sir,
of trolling.
curious sir. Curious sir and curious sir, said Alice as she plummeted down the rabbit hole. But that's all we have on that particular subject. Our community news link has been took down from X, unfortunately. So we will not have our community news segment tonight. I had that queued up next, and it said, well, looks like the post was removed. So unfortunately, we'll not be covering community news, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the Starring You news that our good friend Casey Osowski has submitted. We're going to cover those articles now, and then we're going to do a little bit of fake news and have a little fun to wrap this up.
As it happens,
yeah.
I still have it loaded.
You still have it loaded. It's still queued up. Can it still play?
It can, but for you to hear it, I think I'm going to need to reroute my audio to you. 1 second, please. In fact, if you can buy me some time, that'll make it a little less awkward.
All right, I tell you what, while you're working on that, we'll go ahead and we'll cover this next article. And this looks like some Hollywood news, so let's get back to center here. The first article that has been submitted by our good friend Casey Osowski for the Starring You segment is this. What's going on? Hold on just a sec. All right, let me respond in just in kind.
If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream, and donations are always welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Assuming I'm not blowing everyone's ears, I think I might have fixed this.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to read this article, and we're going to cover this first. Then we're going to do our fake news segment not fake news segment, but our community news segment, because you got that queued up. And then we will get to this one here. So this first one submitted by Casey. Let's get rid of that avatar advertisement. Nobody wants to see that. The Chief AI Innovation Officer of Bark, Mikkel Holm, has a few ideas for minting the next Park Chan-Wolf. Meet the man who thinks dogs should be directors. Dogs? Directors? Well, say it ain't so. If you spent time this holiday season catching up on the season's movies and TV shows, chances are you've seen a couple of dogs. It's less likely you saw something directed by a dog. That should change, argues Mikkel Holm. Holm serves as Chief AI and Innovation Officer of New York-based pet company Bark. It delivers popular subscription boxes of dog treats and toys, and oh yes, runs an airline. So this season, Executive commissioned a fun spot together with ad agency Tombras, what actually was directed by a dog, an Australian Shepherd Pit Bull Mix named Mia. Okay, maybe directed is a strong word, but it's not entirely inaccurate either. As we watch Mia and some of her compatriots from other perspectives, they plow through a holiday gathering. You can watch the ad, a tableau of a dog-human holiday gathering called Merry Chaos Humans here, and it is running on Hulu, Peacock, HBO Max, and other platforms. We will not play the ad here because YouTube has this very oppressive copyright policy. But what we will do is we will send the link directly to you fine folks at home for you to watch in just a little bit. So just bookmark that link for after tonight's program. And yeah, so what exactly does Holm have in mind creativity-wise for the quirky, forward-thinking brand? We decided to ask him. So Mia, the Australian Shepherd Pit Bull Mix, is the world's first dog director as far as we know. Well, I should point out that she did have some good human collaborators and editors, but yes, she directed our holiday ad, which is all centered around the idea that Christmas with dogs is better. What did the directing involve? I'd imagine not a lot of sitting in tall chairs, maybe barking orders. We strapped a GoPro on Mia, so many dogs in this commercial settings are doing what humans want. A lot of sit, stay, that kind of thing. But it's not how most of us experience our dogs. This was about letting the dog dictate what she wanted. What she wanted, judging by the ad, was for her and her co-stars to make mayhem at a holiday gathering, knocking over the tree, bulldozing some people, and attacking the snack table. Yes, she was not doing what a human would want to do directing a movie. You'd be surprised anyway. It's pretty cool seeing something so gritty and, for lack of the better word, humanist. That was our idea from the beginning. We didn't want to do a golden retriever sitting in a field of flowers. I love golden retrievers, but everyone knows that's fake. We wanted something real. So like a sentimental value or train dream sort of vibe, kind of a handmade indie. Exactly. We wanted something honest. We didn't have a shot list or a specific script. Let dogs be dogs and see where it takes us. And really, everything is from their perspective. You see the people in the way Mia sees them. In that way, I feel like she is more of a DP guiding the camera, a Cavalier King Charles Lang, you could say. I guess you could say that. I'd probably be the only one, though, so where are the outtakes, stuff we didn't see? That's a fair bit of butt sniffing that we didn't use, especially when the dogs first met and we're getting to know each other. Not that different from how wary actors circle each other, to be honest. Well, anybody that has worked with Chevy Chase would know that. Huh? No, not at all. But there's something so pure about the dogs. They never make trouble for the sake of making trouble, unlike humans. Mia just wanted to go after what she wanted to go after. She wasn't trying to cause anyone any harm. So this keeps going on and on. So from what I've gathered, it is an ad with of a GoPro, which is very akin to the kind of stuff that we do whenever we watch Max, fight each other. So, fight other cats and stuff with a GoPro around his neck. So this is not that different. Getting a pet's eye perspective from things is always good. So let's go around the horn. This just sounds adorable. Thank you, Casey, for a wonderful one of two articles. Director, what's your thoughts on dogs directing film?
It sounds adorable, I grant, but since it's obviously not directing, it chafes me a bit because I'm sick of being lied to my face. I mean, we just had a president sit in office for 4 years who was clearly senile, and they all told us that he was totally in charge. Now we're supposed to believe the dog was in charge of this. It feels less at this point, and I'm probably just biased from past trauma, like joking and more like lying to my face.
Mm-hmm.
That said, even though I would deem this anything but honest, it's perfectly cute and fine. Just, no, it's not, director. Stop lying to me, media!
It's sentimental. That's what I like about it. It's very, very sentimental, and I enjoyed it. It's cute. But yeah, obviously there was a lot of people work involved in this. The dog was just doing what is in its nature, and we were just getting a pet's eye view of it. But Digny, what are your thoughts, my friend? Is this at least some of this kind of news versus the other kind of news? Hold on. Where is my studio audience, and why aren't they doing the thing? Is it more like this than like this to you?
Oh, I probably shouldn't say this too often, but I'd like to concur with Director Arcada's statement. I mean,
You're a bunch of grumpy old men, the lot of you.
I mean, quite frankly, dog director. No, the dog wasn't directing. Okay, because look, it's a cute topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to understand that if we allow little lies, that opens the door for bigger lies, and I think that's what we're dealing with here. Because if we allow media organizations to get away with, bending the truth in a silly way, they could well and have done bent the truth in a much more serious way. So I think it's good creatively for non-humans to take a more active role in creative decision making.
Mm-hmm.
But make that the headline. Don't make it dog directs a short video or something, because he didn't. Make him
Fair
a
enough.
producer. Make him like because you know what producers are like. They're supposed to produce the publication, or at the very least advertise it. You could use the dog as an advertising piece, but don't label it a director. Label it a producer, and it'll be more useful than other producers of movies and TV shows.
Camera dog.
That is true.
Camera dog's fine.
Act 2.
Casey, you're the one that brought the article. I was the only one that went, oh, everybody else is going.
I got you, Tony. I'm right there with you, buddy. My take on this was, let's face it, everybody with an ounce of sense knows that Mia did not direct that commercial. Everybody knows that it's given. But I have to say, after seeing the ad beforehand, I can't say that she would do any worse a job than a lot of people that are working for a certain other company that we'll talk about in a few moments after we're done. After we've seen the director's helpful piece of handiwork. And I will tell you, Tony, just for truth in advertising, I do know that Bark does have cat pet boxes too, so they're not discriminating. Most of their work is done with canines, but they do have things for cats too. But honestly, I look at it this way. There, I can sympathize and agree with my colleagues, but I honestly just think that the guy was trying to have a little fun, and they were trying to make it interesting enough to sell papers, or to get people to look at the article. Although I did see down at the bottom they had some rather interesting things to say about AI. Basically, they said that the reason they did this rather than go with AI generated dogs is because they didn't want to go quite as far into it as the Coke people did with their AI reimagining of the holidays were coming in this year. They just didn't think that that was the right way for them to go.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that overall my first bit of. I hope I do better with my second contribution than I've done with my first. But
It's all good. We're having fun. That's all that matters at the end of the day. There was a fun article to go over, and it's giving everybody their chance to give their perspective. Director,
Our
I think
quibbles
you're.
do not come with any anger or ire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're just
Well, not
There's
you
shit,
anyway.
you know.
I mean, I'm angry over the past. Carry on, please.
angry about
Not your
what?
fault, though.
What? What?
Oh, the past 4+ years or so.
Ah, yes.
okay, I get it.
Well, just be sure that whenever you draw Dick Butt on the moon with that lovely little orbital laser platform I gave you.
What? Deface our property? No, no, no.
Oh wait, don't forget Scooby. I need to hear what Scooby thinks.
Scooby, what's your thoughts on the matter, hon?
A dog that can direct. Honey, listen to who you're talking. Look at who you're talking to. Scooby Pup. Pup. It's in the name. Pup. And I have a podcast. And it's called Podcast. Dogs can direct. They can. Whether you want to believe it or not, they can direct.
Well, we got a swing vote. I guess I'm the swing vote here.
Or at the very least, they can't do any worse than the people at Marvel did.
We can direct. Us bitches.
I got a swing vote here, and I don't like having two of my pundits on one side and two on the other, and it comes to me. So I'm gonna do what every.
And Tony, might I remind you, you produce for this pup.
I'm well aware, but that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be the coward of the room. And just, I don't know, flip a coin. See what I did there? Dogs can direct, tails they can't.
Oh, let's
Swing
make it
vote, swing vote. They can't, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, Scooby. The coin has spoken.
Yay.
The coin has spoken.
And with that, Tony's pay is docked.
You can't do that to me.
Don't worry, Tony. I'll make
I
it up.
still gotta yell at you later. How dare you? Oh God. Oh, all right. Now
We'll see who's doing the yelling.
no, I got some things I gotta yell at you about. Anyway, nothing too bad though. But there was some things that were left to be desired. Anyway, let's see here. Are we ready to get to our community news spot? Then you got that queued up there, Director.
I do note that we'll all have to be absolutely, well, everyone except me will need to be dead quiet, just as a matter of
All right, we
technical
need to be
concern.
muted. Everybody mute up. I'll go ahead and play the phone.
Why can't we all just get along?
All right, floor is all yours.
No sound.
There's no sound,
no
sir.
sound?
No sound.
Okay, hold on. Advanced audio. I'll be adding
That
this
was
bit
very
to
anticlimactic.
Right. I got it.
Synopsis.
Real American alignment
Since Hassan is
on
watching,
these
can
actual
we get a free Kai
scams,
in the chat?
making sure that we have actual Americans, real Americans,
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
are
don't
getting
give a
this
shit.
money.
Yeah, free Kaya.
Real Americans. Imagine that.
Hasa Nazi, you worked your entire life on your fake image just to destroy it all by shocking your dog. You R word. Bah ha 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 ha. Yeah, no, everyone hates me now. The thing about Hasanabi is that he's really like, and then, but also those, but then again, anyway, so that's kind of it. Nice. Wow, owned.
An alignment
Since Hassan is
on
watching,
these actual
can we get a free...
If I understand correctly, what that basically means is Asmongold got Hassan's audience to drop a bunch of free Kayas in the chat.
Yes. Hassan was in Asmongold's chat. Now, one of the reasons why we do community news is we like to point at very successful streamers and laugh at the fact that they're a bunch of, faced up money-backed pseudo talents, and they're doing what people like us who put in real creativity and effort should be making, were this a world that's based on a meritocracy and not the other thing. So we like to make fun of them. And that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So the free
May Hassan
Kaya,
never live this down.
so the free Kaya thing, obviously, that has been established with the dog shocking. I, on the other hand, find the whole story now beaten to death, much like the nerves of the poor creature. And as a result, you know, when I see two giants in the streaming zeitgeist going at each other over this old hat, and you see how fast those chats are flying by? Look how fast those chats are flying by. And all they're doing is rehashing old crap. It's a terrible shame, but let's go around the horn and make this a quick one. We got two more articles, including one where we'll have a little bit of fun. Director, more of the same. Second verse, same as the first, right? Big
In
shots,
short,
acting
whatever
like
pains
assholes.
whatever pains Hassan pleases me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Digny!
Well, I've noticed in my time as a creator that the more prominent you are, the more likely you're a bad person. Because let's face it, guys, the only way to become prominent is to tear people down. On average. Of course, there are always exceptions, but I have noticed that in front of the camera or behind the scenes, people make names for themselves either by appealing to a mass audience or through gaining a reputation by taking people down. Like, I'm the creator known for taking down this big name, that sort of thing, or these big names, or exposing these people.
Crabs in a bucket.
Exactly. And Hassan is a living, breathing example of that to a massive degree. Asmongold, it's to a much lesser degree. It's to a much more subtle degree. Mm-hmm. But let's face it, folks, they both have loyalists crawling everywhere. And if there's any dissent that could damage either of their reputations, then it's instant cancellation city for the person who is condemning them.
Not wrong.
So at least I'll say this, right? Asmongold doesn't torture his cockroaches, but Hassan tortures his dog.
And this has been the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman with the more.
There are no good guys in this space. There are only trade-offs.
Casey, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to make this real quick and say I don't believe that they're still beating this like a dead horse. The only being that I feel sorry for out of any of this is the poor dog that had that heinous treatment bestowed upon it, and those other two. Well, I won't even say what should happen to them because we are on YouTube. But you know what
have a great time, Angel. Thank you for swinging by. Go ahead.
But you know what I'm talking about, Tony.
Yes, sir. Oh, absolutely. You ain't telling me anything I don't already know.
Those people are pathetic.
Yeah. Absolutely. Scooby, I'm pretty sure your sentiments are about the same.
As Digny said, you know, I have to agree with what Digny said.
Agreed. Here's my thought on it. The Stark of Iron YouTube channel. Trust us with your entertainment, because if we're going to be douchebags, we'll be honest about it.
the bar is on the ground, but it's very easy to achieve, and there's real commitment there. Unlike with these people who, 3 points I want to make about Hassan, Omnidesk Team, some of these other absolute slime balls, they're not there organically. We know they're backed by some very sinister sources. They vary from case to case. But what always must remember is that it's artificial, it's intentional. These are chosen bad examples to be mislead fools, to give people the wrong idea of how to be.
Blind leading the blind. Really
Hey, I resent that.
Well, let's go ahead and put a nice, neat little bow on that. Our last serious article of the evening. It looks like Bob Iger wants to get buddy-buddy with Skynet. Who saw that coming? Literally everybody. Literally everybody. Oh, man. Thank you, Casey, for bringing this article to my attention. Now, when I glanced over this one, I gritted my teeth a little bit, as so we should. How Disney's open AI deal changes everything. After a few wild weeks, 2 Hollywood Reporter editors dissect the tech entertainment deal of the century. It's the only tech entertainment deal of the century. Everybody else is flat fucking broke. On December 11th, Disney and OpenAI announced a landmark partnership. The entertainment giant, according to CEO Bob Iger, would pay $1 billion to the artificial intelligence power player for an equity stake, while also licensing its Sora tech for short-form video on Disney+, some 200 animated and live faceless characters. The 3-year deal, exclusive for the first year, changes everything. Suddenly, Darth Vader isn't just a character that you watch, it's one you create with. And that is true. If you have Sora on your phone, you're like making like shorts reels where you just send in a prompt. Yeah, instead of like other AI companies, right? Which will make creative changes because it's scripted in their programs to not step over on the IP. With Sora, yeah, it's out in the open. I mean, we recently covered Rick and Morty AI slop, and they were identical, and that was all done in Sora and Higgsfield AI. So this is nothing new here. So suddenly Darth Vader is something you can creative. As with the deal, Disney Plus is set to not just become the platform where you can dial up your favorite shows and movies, but one where you can drop yourself into the action and rearrange it for yourself, all with just a few prompts. So this is the future of entertainment or its end. 2 of the Hollywood Reporter's tech-minded senior editors, Julian Sanction and Steven Zajic, break it down. It's been about 10 days since Disney went all in on the AI memes. On one hand, the world hasn't ended, so that's good. On the other hand, the apocalypse never happens overnight. How do you see what Iger and Disney have done? Well, let's look at what OpenAI side first. This is a big win for them. Sam Altman has been poking around Hollywood for a couple of years now, and he couldn't get anyone to bite, and now he's gotten the biggest bite of all. He somehow comes out ahead again. I mean, it's kind of crazy. All these first look deals on the runway and the other startups have gotten an OpenAI is out in the wilderness. And now they just come in and flex with this $1 billion deal from the biggest beast in the jungle. Just when you counted them out, they remind us yet again on how they dominate. I honestly feel like Disney really is becoming like the monopoly guy, but unlike the monopoly guy who actually has capital, which they don't, their capital is tanking. They're like credit, and they're just using that. They're flexing credit capital, not flexing actual capital, and it's going to bite them in the butt if they're not careful. I was thinking about that too. I guess it makes sense if you assume that the major place people will consume this stuff is on Disney, not OpenAI. Like Disney will benefit as the retailer, so they're paying the license of the tool. I guess it just feels like a good publicity for OpenAI. Now everyone else will want it too, assuming everyone wants in on the first place. Of course, AI is still pretty expensive. And hail to Tuckerverse in the chat. It's good to see you. It's still kind of expensive. You can get one prompt a month on free plans with this crap, and then you have to pay. So it's not cheap. That's why I don't rely on it. I know there's a lot of people out there, some of us in the community that use AI, but they're using freewares. They're using freewares and getting away with it. Grok right now, if you get Grok on your telephone, if you just get Grok Imagine on your telephone, You can literally go to your PC, right? This is how easy this is. Because, I could do it. If I could do it, and I'm like kind of sort of tech illiterate, anybody could do it. You go to your PC and you go to Grok on your X and you go, hey, image me this. Then you turn around, you upload that to your Google Photos, and then you bring it back down from your Google Photos onto your phone. And you load up Grok Imagine on your phone and go, hey, animate this. Congratulations, you've just animated a short for $0.00. You can do this ad nauseum, right? So there's workarounds, but the average user doesn't have the foresight to do workarounds like that. So instead, what they do is they'll just pay the $30 monthly subscription to use Sora in, ad nauseum. And that's the only reason why Disney is still profiting from this with this $1 billion deal. That's the sad truth of it. But let's go ahead and let's see how much more cock they suck here. Disney should also be prepared for the possibility that after an initial period of excitement and experimentation, the public will find this hugely lame and it blows up in their face. Oh, like what we're doing? They're also betting that OpenAI stays ahead of the AI pack, even when Sam Altman seems to doubt. Look, Iger has taken a risk. Everyone is talking about AI all the time, but poll after poll shows that many people are anti-AI or at least skeptical of it. I'm getting texts from people with no stake in Hollywood going, what's going on with this? It's definitely a controversial move, but he sees himself in a fight, and the fight is to throw the first punch. He is seeing the writing on the wall. That's good analysis, but the AI is mad. You mixed a metaphor. That's normally its job. That's pretty fun. I guess the question is so what the writing is. Many young people prefer short-form user-generated video to long-form professional content, sure. I tell you what, that's really one of the reasons why my channel has exploded in subscribers is because I'm doing 10-second shorts. I get more views per capita, more likes per capita, more subs per capita. And since I did that hour-long Alistar stream just because it was mobile-friendly, you see how many new faces are in my chat from it. Earlier today, I mean, I was sitting at like 27, 28 people at one point because they were all new faces that I picked up from that mobile-friendly Alistar sizzle reel of dad jokes and chat interaction. I picked up 20 subscribers from that. So this format that we're doing now is just because I still have an audience for this too. In the grand scheme of things, I like doing this. But if I, like, say, for example, lost all of my free time and had to, like, deal with crap, obviously there would be cuts that I would have to make in my schedule on my upload content. And it's sad to say, but this is the direction we're going in. But I want to be able to keep doing all of this content, not just some of this content, because I want to keep all of you. But Iger is also betting that users want to interact with high-end content, too, that the stuff we normally just watch will now be able to create in. That is the part that has been proven, where he's really putting a chip on the table and yet another metaphor. So yeah, this is just, I'm going to assume more of these two guys sucking Disney and OpenAI cock. So we're not going to worry about that too much. We're just going to go ahead and go around the room. Once again, yeah, welcome to Walmart, right? Hi, welcome Walmart.
I think that's what they want. I don't think that's what they're going to get. The main problem right now, and I was listening to some big talking heads at X and so on, complaining that they'd made amazing new AI tools available for everyone, but they weren't being put widely to use. As if there's been nearly enough time for all the creators out there to become familiar with the tools, what they can do, and how to generate things that aren't just the lowest possible form of slop. They then applaud themselves for being so high agency. Well, that made me angry, and it's irrelevant. So, in any case, I think this deal is going to blow up. I don't think Iger can imagine a good use for AI. I think what he's not saying is that he primarily sees great savings in acting talent through AI.
Mm-hmm.
That
is,
I believe, is primary motivation.
Conversation. That is a subject of conversation. You're absolutely right.
And when they say now they can use Vader for creative purposes, you mean with a special license through either Disney or OpenAI? Because right now you can do so, just not as legally as you should be able to.
Look what people at Robot Chicken did with their action figures. this is another thing that a lot of people don't get. I was actually talking with my good friend Robert Wright on this about how. Well, I don't know if I can get away with reading a Die Hard Christmas, the Die Hard version of the Christmas Story, right, on the air.
Where
and
there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and I said, "Do you have the book?" He said, "Yes." I says, "Well, congratulations, you've bought the rights to be able to do that. You have the book in your hand. Look at the people with Robot Chicken, right? When they have Darth Vader and the Emperor, what the hell is an aluminum Falcon? It's because they're literally playing with their toys that they've purchased, that they own, that they have that right to for a parody. That's Section 107 of U.S. copyright law. That is fair use. And you don't have to buy licensing.
Also, AI does not have to be expensive. That's one of the biggest lies we've often sold. They would have us believe that you have to pay a license to use some supercomputers, some super corporation's mega computer in their hidden basement facility. You can do most of this stuff on a reasonably decent gaming computer. That's what I do. I've made things using AI tools. I made my Christmas and New Year's greetings using them. I did not use an online service at all.
You don't
not Grok, not freeware, not a trial. Nothing was off of my system, disconnected from the internet. Nothing was connected to the internet at all. This is accessible to everyone right now, and I think they're going to do their best to change that in the future. People really do need to embrace these tools, I think, because the future belongs to the person who can weld the old media to the new media and use the tools best to make something better still.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's easy to find workarounds to use AI for free if you're using an online service. Like I just gave you the formula. Go on your PC.
If you're using an online service, it will not
image.
be free forever. And
Yeah,
they can
it will
yoink
not
it
be
like
free
that.
forever. They can yoink that, but do the workaround now. Maybe I'm actually expediting the issue by saying, hey, look, make a picture on the PC, upload it to your Google Photos, download it from your Google Photos, use Grok Imagine on your mobile to animate it into a 15-second short.
And if anyone wants to know about the offline tools available, I will happily share everything I know.
I would actually love those. That way, in case,
Arthur, would you please?
Casey needs it bad.
I need it.
I will happily tell you everything I know, share every link I've got, and support the people who are making these tools available to all.
Good to see the captain in the chat too. Hail to you, sir. Hail, hail, hail. Welcome. Everybody's doing the bork, 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 bork. What the bork, bork, bork? Are you talking like the Swedish chef? As a child, says Kyle Reese, a civics teacher versus financial advisor had a discussion with me about Walmart. Yeah, well, Iger has no fucking clue what he's doing. Like most CEOs, he thinks he grasps it, knee jerks with new buzzwords and fucks everything up. That is the unfortunate truth of the matter. Dignified cartoon gentleman, what are your thoughts on this? You think it's going to flounder, or it's just going to do what it normally does? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, it would fit my narrative for where Disney should go, and in my view, Disney should go the way of being a legacy company, basically buying up all these franchises as legacies and then essentially licensing them out for other people to do creatively better with them. So I think on that front, it's a good thing. On a personal level, I can't wait for Clanker: A Star Wars Story, where battle droids get replaced with clankers. It's just like, what up, my clanker? How is the clud? And all that sort of stuff. But I think it's not just Disney. I think every company, when it gets to a certain point, and it's great to know that my take is making Casey ill, but I think it gets to a point with every company where they get so old that those who made them what they are aren't alive anymore. That's when they become legacy companies. That's where they own the legacy, but they have to license it out to others who are more creatively able. Because otherwise, the company is just going to collapse in the long run, because the people who control the legacy aren't creatively able enough to carry the company forward because they're not the founders. So I think this is good on that level, but personally, leave the creative aspect to the creative people and leave the corporate legacy aspect to the corporate people. Here's the clanker of Star Wars story.
Absolutely. And and as the captain is verifying here, yes, there are more people that'll watch a 15-second short than they'll ever do with a live long form show, whether it's a variety show. Even now, my variety shows are beginning to bleed over because everybody likes Al. I'm writing on the success Al is bringing in. I'm writing on the success that Vox is bringing in. I'm going to be doing the same with Fallout here before too long because Fallout's a hot topic. That's one of the things that you have to do in this business is you have to branch out and find what, the group of things that you like and how it will gel with other people you like, and then make sure that you are able to properly fish with it. And you don't need AI to be that, but it is a convenient tool just as long as, like with VR chat, you use it as such and don't become completely invested in it to the point that you lose any autonomy of your creative direction yourself. As long as you're the one saying, hey, this is what I want, and you have a standard to what you get out of the result of the tools that you use, and it meets it, then you still have creative control despite the fact that you're using an expedited medium. Casey, what is your thoughts on the matter?
Well, first of all, may I say I'm sorry for coughing. It wasn't intentional.
I will listen. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Second of all, I'm surprised nobody mentioned this, but when I read that article, and I had to read it 2 or 3 times to get it all, but one of the things they mentioned was that how great a deal this was for OpenAI because they're teaming up with Disney, a powerhouse, and I use the term powerhouse in quotes in the industry. Now, let us look at this arrangement for a little while. Here you have OpenAI, a company that at one time was the golden child of this new industry. But they've had some financial problems as of late, not to mention some problems also with their corporate structure. And they, as it says in the article, Sam Altman doesn't even know if he's going to be able to stay relevant as a company because there's so many new players in the game and the criteria of who's best is changing almost on an hourly basis. Now let's look at Disney. Disney is, for such a powerhouse of a company, hasn't had a really good movie in years. I mean, they're living off credit, like you said before, and I'm just looking at this and I'm going, what everybody's missing is this is so sad because there are 2 companies that are floundering that are trying to hold on to each other to leverage the other one so that they can stay afloat and remain relevant for 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And AJ says, personally, while I enjoy your shorts, I do prefer the long form variety shows. I will do my best to endeavor to keep them. And with everybody's support that I've been getting here recently, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But if things come to a point to where I have to take care of myself and still be able to do this partially, as it could happen any minute, YouTube is literally the Wild West. Anything can happen, right? We see it all the time. If it comes down to it, I'm going to have to make consolidative changes. But that doesn't mean that if I were to shelve something, it's gone forever. There's a couple of show series that I still have shelved, like Stark Stakes, the game show, Tower After Hours, the interview show. Just because they aren't in the active running on my channel right now does not mean that they have been nixed or they're out of commission. They have just been pushed back because their production run, their production value, their end result is, less than what we need at this current point in time. And, that's one of the reasons why I'm honestly 110% blessed to have a community, a supporting community like you. People like Casey here, who does a good half of the legwork on average to keep me here for you all. That's really what it's about. I'm your 24/7 entertainer as long as I can afford it. Right? Scooby, what are your thoughts on this AI issue with Bob Iger? Did you expect this? Were you surprised by it?
Well, as you know, I spent a lot of December covering AI during my podcasts. I had even mentioned Disney buying it. I am not surprised in the slightest bit that they went this way. I mean, their CGI is crap. The only way to make their CGI look any better is to bring in AI to refine it. I think this is their way of trying to take a shortcut. They are, excuse me, they are most likely tired of having to do things with effort and have most likely decided, we're going to take the easy way out and we're just going to let computers do everything for us. Their CGI, like I said, their CGI looks crap. The AI would help that a lot better. With AI, I mean, here's a good example with the AI. With the AI, look what happened with Rogue One, how they had Princess Leia.
Right.
That was AI right there. They can fix casting problems and such using AI right then and there. So they're using it as a refinement and a way to copy casting problems and such, as well as CGI. Do I think this move will fail? No, I don't. Because even if it so much as even starts to show signs of failing, Iger won't allow it. So
Absolutely.
do I think this will fall through? No, not in the slightest.
I think it's dead on arrival, especially if Arcater has these assets that are completely offline. There's no sense in paying, But again, this is us telling potential listeners down the road, hey, look, you don't have to pay $30 a month to play with Sora for more than one video a month.
Well, you know what the worst part of this is, Tony? Think about this. They said that the stuff that they were going to produce was going to be on Disney Plus. So I'm thinking that if it's on Disney Plus and they give their users the right to use it, then basically you're still paying the money for Disney Plus to begin with, and you're probably going to end up paying whatever they decide for Sora.
Absolutely true. Hail to Furious Dan out there. It's a pleasure to see you. Hopefully life is treating you well, my friend. But I think that's gonna... Oh, did you have a last point? Go ahead.
Well, these names, Sora, these present things that all have subscriptions, these are the names they want you to know because they all have subscriptions, and it's been the scheme for the longest time that you should always be paying for the thing you've got. Never ownership, only rental. The names you want to be looking into are WON, 2GP, LTX, smaller video generators that can fit rather smoothly onto a humble rig such as mine and produce what you've seen. And there's more it can do.
Yeah.
The sheer limit. Yeah, don't let me get me wrong. I know it looks like I'm in a really fancy, high-tech area, and I am, but I'm not allowed to use that really cool stuff. I have to make do with a gaming rig that was largely funded by a patron of SideQuest.
There you go.
That's all that's in charge of whatever you see here.
See, small-time creators with dedicated communities can do a lot. What if I told you that I spend literally no money on any of my programs? All of my Skeletor shorts are edited via Clipchamp. All of my PNG tubing, I learned the hard way. I've spent nights taking a PNG of Skeletor and editing it and disjointing the jaw from it and animating the jaw and putting it all back into the program. This backdrop here, free green screen freeware via a company on YouTube. My Tony Stark graphic was probably the only thing that I purchased in the last 2 quarters of the year for my YouTube channel, and that was because Dudicus Trogdor here, our good friend Dudicus, actually drew this. I still had to take all of his raw feed and animate it. It can be done on a budget. You can start from zero. You don't need to have thousands of dollars laying around to provide quality content like this gentleman here. You don't. You absolutely do not. You can start at zero. You just got to know the right people that are willing to give you the time and the advice to get you going. You're off to the races. There's no excuse. At the end of the day, the world could always use another plumber. You want to be a creator? It's a lot easier than you think.
Well, yes. No, sorry to say, it's something you can do. Tony's an excellent example, to be sure. That said, there is a problem with average human agency, and this is not necessarily the fault of people. One must keep in mind that all Americans have been poisoned with fluoride for, well, as long as I've been alive, at least. And there have been a lot of other things that kind of reveal a certain malicious desire to render everyone as stupid and pliable as possible. This is not going to have a positive effect on agency.
Right. That is true. But that is going to be the end of our serious run. Let's get to a little bit of just some good old hometown harmless fun. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for our fake news segment. And of course, when we do this, we're taking a fake article and we're going to pretend that it is real. And I feel with all of the buzz floating around about Kurtzman being fired, I figured this episode of Fake News could just involve the crew of the USS Enterprise. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
Crew of the Starship Enterprise discovers yet another new planet that looks shockingly like Southern California. Damn! Why do they all look the same? Space. The crew of the USS Enterprise made a surprising discovery after landing on yet another planet that looks shockingly like the landscape of Southern California. A scout team made of Lieutenant Commander Dr. Leonard McCoy and Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu was beamed down to the surface of a as of yet unexplored planet, finding its climate and topography to be just as with many of the new worlds that the crew has discovered, exactly like that of Los Angeles County. We urged to caution as we disembark. Dr. McCoy urged his colleague, "We have no idea what the civilization might be like. We've never seen a land as strange as this." Initial surveys revealed the planet's inhabitants spoke fluent English, dressed exclusively in athleisure, and insisted that they were totally not like the other planets nearby. Lieutenant Sulu confirmed that scans of the area revealed the climate was temperate, with brief rainy season during the winter months and warm and sunny summers. "We're a simple, peaceful people," declared one of the residents of the mild California-like planet. "We have artsy ways that may prove interesting to the group of visitors from the sky. We invite you, strange outlanders. Come join us of a meal of fish tacos." McCoy and Sulu then made a hasty retreat while laying down heavy phaser fire before evacuating back to the ship, where the crew set course to explore the next unknown planet that looked exactly like Southern California. At publishing time, the Enterprise has sent Commander Spock and Ensign Chekhov to investigate yet another world that bore an uncanny resemblance to the San Fernando Valley. Tell you what, California on the rise, kids. I thought the Vikings went everywhere first. What a shocking development from the stalwart crew of the USS Enterprise. Oh, man.
Times we live in it too, Kirk! We know it's a fraud now. Look, I bet the Enterprise is actually a Kia. They're just, tooling around Southern California, shooting occasional videos, sending it back in, and raking in millions, if not billions, in taxpayer money for exploration.
I know, right?
There's losing red shirts to fentanyl zombies in downtown areas and claiming it's alien interference.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely.
I am disgusted with Starfleet.
Starfleet, I thought you had better standards than that. Oy vey. Oy gevalt. Digny, what are your thoughts on this shocking development that California might have done more than the Vikings over the course of the ancient times when humanity, prior to its first technological downfall, has colonized the stars?
Well, new Star Trek, the original series episode, Planet of the Demon Rats, where everyone is somehow a demon and a rat, folks. It's very, very interesting. Of course, Kirk will just give them all guns and then negotiate the greatest trade deal of all time and somehow take all of the planet's oil.
That's
Because
right.
that was America in 1966, and yet simultaneously it is also America in 2026. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The only things that change are the names of the places, but everything else exactly the same. But I think it was a very impressive article by the Babylon Bee, and it is truly the best Star Trek episode we have seen since 2005.
You bet, you bet. And hail to the great Mr. Eagle Flying who came in and left a like. Hail to you, sir. Voice for freedom everywhere. He's a bald eagle, and he's off to the nest. Thank you for giving our drive-by like and love, my friend Casey.
Well, all I
begin the intrepid crew of the Enterprise, man. What are they doing?
All I can say, buddy, is this. You know, it's good to know that at least Mr. Spock and company can practice their surfing lessons.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, geez, dude, you know, it's like, you gotta know that you gotta know it's coming. And
yes.
It's not actually a Kia that they're driving in. I'm sorry, Arctur, but it's actually a Woody. If you know what an old Woody station wagon was?
Oh, God, the surf wagons.
Yeah, you know it, buddy. A dial-lithium powered surf wagon.
Damn it, Spock.
Well, to be fair, it was
How
only
about
logical
the
to apply. It was only logical to apply cheap wood paneling to the sides of vehicles during that era. Scooby, what are your thoughts on this? She's like, I have no comment. This is just asking for it.
I think we have broken Scooby.
Oh, God. I'm just waiting for Q to pop up and say April Fools.
I really wish that was the case, but unfortunately, there's more and more planets that look like Southern California in the Alpha and, unironically, the Beta quadrant. And
I want everyone who knew this fraud prosecuted and stripped of their citizenship before being deported to Somalia.
Yes. But before that happens, I want a tribble.
No, you don't. You get one tribble, you'll get 80 of them in like.
Hey! My grandfather had a toy tribble. I want a tribble.
You cannot, under any circumstances, neuter a tribble.
I want a tribble.
I hate to break it. Dude, Scooby, look, it's all fraud. The fraud has been exposed. There are no tribbles. There are just fentanyl-crazed sewer rats. And as a person who otherwise loves domesticated sewer rats, you don't want the tribble.
Now, I just got some breaking news from the USS Enterprise. Oh, crap. California must have done something crazy to them. Oh, Lord have mercy. You guys might accidentally get kicked for this bit, but we're going to do it. We're going to show it off. This is what I've gathered. This is what I've gathered from the Enterprise, folks. Oh no. Oh God heavens. Here we go. I think we've lost them. We've definitely lost them. Let's tune in now and see if I can't find out what's
I am the captain of the Starship Enterprise.
Captain Kirk, this is Spock. Please step on the transporter.
Dilithium crystals hit by Klingon missiles. No!
I'm a doctor.
Not an actor.
Not a milkman.
What does that mean?
And I'm sorry, he's dead, Jim.
Photon torpedo! Lieutenant Uhura, open hailing frequencies.
Yes, Captain Kirk, opening hailing frequencies, sir.
Let's boldly go where no one's gone before. Beam me up, Mr. Scott. Sulu, go to warp.
Warp 3, sir.
No, that will be way too slow.
Warp 4, sir.
That still is way too slow.
Warp 5, sir.
It still is too damn slow.
Warp 6.
It's too damn slow.
Warp 7.
It's still damn slow.
It's too damn slow!
No, 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 no. Mr. Chekhov, Mr. Chekhov.
I am firing torpedo!
That will not work and would be illogical to me. To me. To me.
I have a bad feeling that when they get back to Starbase 1, Starfleet's lost. Whatever they contacted on that planet is contagious.
It's so obvious in hindsight. I mean, that was clearly a cartoon.
I know.
The entire history of
This. If you guys give me
what
a
a
tribble,
shameful call.
if you guys give me a tribble, I will stick it on their airship so that way they will have to deal with all of the tribbles because they multiply like rabbits. I know they do.
Airship.
Well, like rats, more accurately.
That's going to go ahead and bring our show to a close. Let's go ahead and cover some of these last super chats that have crept in. And we'll go ahead and start wrapping this up. Speaking of Bob Iger and AI, Jarvis, I think we're done with the news. Are we done with the news?
And that's the current state of the news.
I think we're done with the news. All right, with that stated, let's go ahead and get to these last few super chats.
Let's see if we have any super chats in the picture show.
AJ Starhiker with a unicorn super stickers, so we got to play it.
Unicorn!
Following up with another gifted membership and Cinevere. That's another critical hit. 2 critical hits for the price of one. First Floral, then Cinevere. Wow. We're getting some of the big names in this piece. If you have not checked out Cinevere, she is a beautiful VTuber who has more for her virtual wardrobe than most people have with their impersonations, and that is no boast.
And the donks like crazy.
And yes, let's just say she does indeed suffer some back pain. Dan Funk, my good friend, says, and I quote, another one of these.
Unicorn!
And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring our news and our fun show to a close. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart and the heart of my bottom. You guys make this possible. And that's going to wrap up this episode of StarkCast Mk25. I have been your friendly, not so friendly, sometimes douchebaggery, sometimes corporate overlordy host, Stark of Iron, bringing you the best and sometimes the worst news this side of pop culture and gaming. Joining me is always going to be this rack of pop culture pundits, and I thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us today. Let's go around the horn and let everybody know what you all are doing. Director, what's coming up on your side of the woods?
Well, a very uncertain SCP read for this Sunday. I can't really explain why it would be cancelled if it is cancelled, so I'm not going to bother. Just keep a tab on it. Quite frankly, if you want to see what I'm doing, you should probably be on the Arc Labs Volunteers of Discord server, but for that opportunity, you'll probably have to catch one of my streams live. Just watch the YouTube channel. It'll give you an idea that I'm up to something.
Fantastic. Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, did you get your 310 subscribers today?
No, we're still only one away from 310, but folks, you can check me out over at the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman. Expect plenty of videos, plenty of shows, and plenty of videos from said shows. 2025 was a great year for me. I'm aiming to do the same for 2026. So go and check out me channel on the YouTube, that sort of thing. Any support is appreciated. I also have a Rumble channel with the same name. So we'll be mirroring content releases on both channels. So check me out on YouTube primarily. Backup channel on Rumble, Dignified Cartoon Gentleman. Thank you, Tony, for having me on, and it was great to catch up with everyone.
You bet. And always, as you've said before, this is the show you can come and relax on, because I know what I'm doing.
We just did it, so thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem, my friend. Always happy to have you. And we got our good friend Casey Osowski of Casey's Creepy Creations. Thank you for helping us reach that, well, at least it was an attempt at an episode of StarkCast starring you, but you are here, so savvy investment, my friend.
Well, my friend, I have to say it is a pleasure as always to be with you tonight. It was a real thrill to meet Big B, and Arcator and Scooby are always so much fun. As for me, I plan on creating more short stories for my YouTube channel, and I hope that you will all go by and give Casey's Creepy Creations a look. There is going to be more coming very shortly, and I even got an okay. I'm going to be working with someone else in the not too distant future to create or help create some content for them.
Arcator is going to hook you up with some software that's going to cost you $0.00. You're going to be back to the races before you know it.
Arcator, man, all I got to say is if you could pull this off and my system can actually use them, you are on my Christmas card list for life.
I'll do my best.
Is no boast. Whenever he supports somebody, he supports somebody. Scooby Pup!
Yes.
Carry on. What do you got coming up?
So tomorrow I might have a barcade. It all depends on what time I wake up. If I do, it'll probably be around 4 p.m. If I hold it later than that, I will announce it on Twitter, because that's what I always do. I always announce the times on Twitter and YouTube. So tomorrow I will most likely have a barcade. Will I be changing games? I'll either be doing a Sonic racing, Sonic Crossroads racing, or I'll be picking up a whole new game. It all depends on the poll that I will be putting out. All next week, also barcade, as well as on Friday, Season 1, I'll be dropping another episode of Season 1 Has Been Hotel, Scooby Pup's Refuse. It'll be episode 7 that we drop, and that'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, I will have at 5 p.m. Eastern on Scooby Pup's podcast, Cancel This Broadcast. So be sure to check that out. It'll be a fun time.
Sounds good, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you all for hanging out with me. Let's do it again next Saturday. And of course, we got coming up from my end. I guess we can play this just one more time. So Lord knows I always got stuff on my pipeline. Not on my pipe. Wait, what? Is that on? Anyway, we'll edit it in post. So basically, what we have coming up on Monday night is going to be a Radio 616 VR chat exclusive. We are going to try and do a pre or a post show as intended, because we reached our goal last night or the other night prior. So we're going to see if we can't get that up and running to where we can actually broadcast. Just, a couple of my community members hanging out on the couch with Alistair and just bullshitting with you guys in the chat. That way we can have a proper cross-platform. Then on Tuesday, we got Radio 616 exclusive for YouTube. The Radio Demon will be back. Fox will most likely interrupt it. It'll be a good time. And then Alf After Hours, right after Taco Tuesday on Snowdub, the one show that is rated with at least 40 members from the gate. yeah, I may have some friends helping me along. That's the reason why you always got to remember them, though, because none of us can do this alone if you are working with a team. And finally, last but not least, Stark's Thursday Matinee coming back. Who knows what characters will be featured, what characters will end up on the reel, and if we will need to hunker down in the nuclear shelter at that point. Thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart and the heart of my bottom. You guys make this what it is. We will catch you next time. Until then, stay tuned and trust us with your news and your entertainment.